Welcome to We the People, a new birth of freedom. Thanks for stopping by again. After nearly 2.5 centuries, well-meaning, no doubt sincere, very educated, elected officials, politicians, those who represent or are supposed to represent the United States of America. After nearly 2.5 centuries, they still, many of them, fail to understand what life, liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness means in the context of the law of nature and nature's God. The politically minded can only understand political agendas. Many have so detached themselves, if they were ever attached or associated with the law of nature and nature's God, they are so detached and so disassociated from those most powerful connections that everything they touch, everything they see, everything they talk about comes from only a political resource. And if I might interject here to say this, traditionally and correctly, we have three branches of government: the executive, the judicial, and the legislative. Those make up the three branches or three powers of our government. But there's actually a fourth one. And I want to emphasize this very much because it's never talked about. It's called We the People. Because see, without we the people, there would be no judicial, executive, or legislative branches of government. We're the ones that elect them and put them there. So we the people who are governed by the law of nature, nature's God, and as it is correctly linked to political processes, we hold the highest power in this country if we exercise it properly as free individuals. You see, liberty, freedom, is not anarchy. A true free man or woman, a true man or woman that understands liberty is not anti-government or an anarchist. We just understand it on a completely different level, above and beyond just political processes or agendas. And after 2.5 centuries, many, far too many, do not understand that. So, let it be understood from this moment on that the four branches that operates in this country is first, we the people, sovereign individuals who understand life, liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness in the context of the law of nature and nature's God and how it is correctly linked to or associated with political processes. We also have the executive branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch. But we the people hold the sovereign power of life, liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness. And accompanied with that, let this be understood, accompanied with true freedom and liberty is accountability and responsibility. Without that, you do not have life, liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness. As we can see in Washington, D.C., after this last episode, this last chaotic scenario that has been unfolding over the nomination of a Supreme Court justice, many of our elected officials are not free. They don't understand liberty. They are not exercising liberty. They are not free people. They are enslaved. And I want to really emphasize that. They are enslaved to political agendas that are destructive, corrupt, hypocritical, full of deception, lies, and are so reprehensible that once again we have a serious scar on the United States of America as it is unfolded recently. A serious scar once again. These people are not free. They don't understand freedom. Because see, natural law and the nature's God, the law of nature and nature's God, is not taught in the legal arenas, but yet they exercise it every day. As I gave the example of breathing, it's a natural law. It's in our biology. So is eating. You have to eat. It's a natural biological law. No Supreme Court, no politician can tell you what you can or cannot eat. How many times you can eat in a day. What time you eat in a day. They have no jurisdiction over natural law. If you want to eat grapes every day, that's your liberty. If you want to eat McDonald's every day, that's your liberty. If you want to eat soup, that's your liberty. That's what natural law is. It's inherent within us. We can make choices, but here's where the governing power is built into our biological conscience or our biological constitution. Should you decide or unknowingly ingest something that is poisonous, you'll get sick, and the worst consequence is you'll die. Because our whole system is set up that has a governing process that will not allow us to abuse ourselves without consequences. And this is a parallel of how the Constitution to the Bill of Rights is supposed to work. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But I want you to start thinking about the law of nature and nature's God, and how that this law is intrinsic and inherent within us, and how that the Constitution of the United States is supposed to protect those inherent laws, not take them away. But until our elected officials can understand that, they will continue to bicker, fuss, backstab, hate each other, and instead of forming a more perfect union and establishing justice, well, they'll be the role models of incompetence, stupidity, and bullshit artists. Till next time, be an American.